Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here.
Babe, hand me a beer.
Here we are.
Hi!
No
We're
dysfunction
back
here.
again.
Hola.
We made it! Hola, ¿qué tal?
Yeah.
So happy to see you guys. It's been so long since yesterday.
It's been
Night.
hours.
It's a good day,
Missed
though.
you.
But we had a nice
Missed
Father's
you
Day
too.
together.
Father's Day. I was so glad that you guys made it because you were in Texas and you made it just in time for dinner. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Worked out splendidly thanks to Tess.
After a long adventure, I hear in El Paso.
Such a great
El
city.
Paso chewed you up and spit you out. And
Yes, they did.
Isn't that the city where dreams come true?
Uh-huh.
Or go
And
to
brotherly
die.
love.
Yeah.
Oh.
or die.
Dang.
Just kidding. We love Ralph. So friends.
Yes.
I don't think we have any
Well, the
listeners.
concerts were great, right? You guys went to
Concerts
Coldplay
were
twice.
great. We got to go to Rose's Cantina from that song about the da-da-da-da. How's it go?
Down in the West Texas
Town
town of
of
El
El
Paso,
Paso,
I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
Yeah, and then they say something about Rose's Cantina, but we got to go there.
Something like late nights would find me at Rosa's Cantina or
Yeah.
something like that.
But is it actually a Coldplay song?
No,
No, I didn't.
No, it's like it's a famous oldie
like 56,
from like 57
7-ish,
or
yeah.
59
It didn't
or something
sound like
like
a Coldplay song, so I was confused. I'm like, I've never heard that one.
That was hilarious.
But we went and it was cool and the atmosphere was awesome. Became best friends with the bartender.
Fun. You become best friends with everyone everywhere you
Well,
go.
that's
I love
Jake.
it.
I'm
and
just
Jake,
the
honestly, when
accomplice.
I was married to
Yeah.
Jake, I hated going to the store with him because I'm the person who, if I see someone I know, unless I'm like really close with them, if I see someone I know, like an acquaintance, I will hide and dodge. I
No
will
eye
be like,
contact.
next. And Jake's like, hey! And I'm like, motherfucker! God damn it! Like,
just a
oh,
friendly
it would
guy.
stress me out. He's just so friendly. Yes.
I learned that pretty quick, I think. Like, when we were first together, I was like, hey, there's... And she's like, no!
Yes, hard.
I'm like, never mind.
And there have been so many times in grocery stores where I'm like, go this way, this way, this way.
I get confused. I'm like, who is it? What's happening?
I'm like, I'll tell you later.
It's Anthony's math teacher. Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm very antisocial.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah.
I feel the same way in Walmart, especially when I go and I look all like ratchet and stuff.
That's when you find them.
my hair's sticking
People
out.
know
I've got
what-
like mascara from the night before.
Mhm.
And they're like, Tiff! I'm like,
Yes, I relate for
If they don't
sure.
accept for you for who you are, then are they really an acquaintance?
truth. I like that thought, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the concerts were great. We got to see our friend Chris.
Yay,
And meet his
Christopher!
mom, and that was amazing.
Oh, he's got the
That was
best
so much
mama.
fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a
I
great
love
time.
that.
But I'm glad we made it home for dinner, and dinner was incredible. Thank you.
It really was.
That's nice.
It was my favorite Father's Day ever yesterday. She went all out. She made me feel so special and had all these little presents and did so many nice things. She's the best.
That's nice, babe.
It's true.
Good word.
Yay! Well, today is episode 31.
Wait,
Wow.
Yeah, which three?
Nope.
I'm just
32.
kidding.
You've been
strike that. reverse
So
it.
today, episode 32. 32. And
Yay.
what we're talking about is navigating the difference in parenting methods, like what you guys might think works in your home and what works in our home, and then when the kids are in the opposite house, like how are we working through that and still enjoying one another's presence. Rocking in the corner.
Yeah.
I.e., how to gently let the other people know they're wrong.
And you're right. Always.
In a kind and loving,
You guys are really
assertive
good at
manner.
that.
Yeah,
So
we
you should
we
play
accept it really well.
Oh man.
Jake
That's
Hazel for
been
Rizzo.
that has been a tricky thing for us to navigate for sure. Our households have been very different.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know coming like into the relationship, it was like I know, like it'd be cute like when Jake was packing the kids' lunches and stuff. They're like, "Well, can we have this? Because we don't get this, you know." And I'm like, "Oh, this is how this is going."
Get it while the getting's good.
Yeah. But
Totally.
I do believe like there's been hiccups and like hurdles and stuff, but we made
Yeah.
it work. Now, how did we do that? How did you do that?
Terribly a lot of the time.
Horribly.
Kinda okay some of the time. I think that it's so much like, I feel like I say this every goddamn episode. Everyone's gonna be like, someone get a new husband in here because we're just saying the same thing every time. But it's like,
No.
it's almost like every single subject in some way comes back to the idea that like you want the control. You have your opinion and your idea of what's best, and it's really hard to relinquish that, especially when it's a romantic relationship that may have gone south, and like there's hard feelings or whatever, and so in general, if you're able to work together on other things, it makes working together on parenting styles being different easier, and not always easy. And I think that at the end of the day, what's really important is recognizing that even though you have those strong preferences and think it should be a certain way, you can't have the control. And at the end of the day, it is good for kids to experience different things and to experience different opinions, experience different, for better or worse. Like you may be, and this is never the case, but you may be right most of the time about whatever, and it just in the end doesn't really matter, because the kids need to figure out what's great for them, what isn't great for them, see what works. We say a lot, I think, all of us, that like, A, you're all going to need therapy one day anyway, you're welcome, and B, take what you love from us and don't take what you don't love. Like, we're imperfect human beings trying to do our best job too, and you're going to be different. That's one thing that's been really hard for me to really grasp as a father and a parent, is I just assumed my kids, especially my biological kids, would be very similar to me in a lot of ways, and like, oh, they're going to be just like me in this or just like me in that, and it's just not the case a lot of the time. Like, they just don't care about things I care about sometimes, or they don't feel the same way about things that I may feel a certain way about. And it really teaches you individually and as a co-parenting group, I feel like, to let go of that stuff faster in order to have more peace and happiness, and let them learn on their own.
Yeah, and I think things that I've witnessed are like the sentences, like a form of punishment. Like, how are you going to punish it with two different like ways of thinking? And it's like, I know the kids would be like, "Oh, I had to do sentences." Well, there were also times where like Jake was having them do sentences, or I'm trying to think of other situations. Like phone, you couldn't have your phone at bedtime. Well, I'm not quite sure if that was exactly the same. No TV in your house, and the kids had TVs in your house, whether or not you were able to watch it or not. You have that belief system, and you don't know. Like, none of us were given a manual the day we became a parent. None of us were given manuals of the millions of different personalities that your child is going to grow into. So it's like having, for us, 6 kiddos, and for you guys, 9?
19, I
Seven.
think.
7?
19.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
1900.
You know what I mean? It's
Lose count.
those are so many different. I don't think any of our kids are the same in any way. They've all grown up differently. So I'm hoping what you said, like our kids are going to be like, happy with what we've done while they are going through therapy or whatnot. But we had no direction. It was our first time every time. And being in 2 different households makes it even that more tricky. So
I think where we started giving each other grace and where the kids started giving us grace is the second that we started openly admitting and communicating frequently that we don't know what we're doing. We're trying our best. We try to take the good from our upbringing and leave out what we didn't like, and so we are doing our best. But and we keep on saying there's not a manual, but there's like 500,000 manuals about parenting, I'm sure. But I hate to read, so I'm not going to read any of them.
I've read a lot of them.
I was gonna wing it.
Yeah, Toby gives us the Cliffs Notes. It's great.
Uh,
But I think as soon as that clicked for us, going from one household to the other, from one set of parents to the other, where we're just like, okay, we're doing our best. We have different views. We're not going to be able to change each other, but together, collectively, we can all decide that we are doing our best and that we're going to give each other some grace and forgive each other when, the day that I've got a hot head and I make some mistakes and I'm being too mean to our kids, or somebody else does something similar, or it's like now we're just giving each other the benefit of the doubt and we're forgiving each other and having that same open line of communication with our kids, instead of saying, I'm the mom and this is the way it's going to be, or I'm the dad and this is the way it's going to be. We don't do that. Maybe we've said it before, but we've learned our lesson that it doesn't really seem to work, not how we want it to anyways. And so if we are communicating with them, like, all right, I'm doing my best here, and I need you to meet me there too. You do your best, I'll do my best, we'll all do our best, and we'll come up with what we're going to come up with.
When I was first a mom, I was 19 years old. We got pregnant very quickly after we got married, and I did not have a maternal figure in my home, and so I felt extremely like an underdog, like I didn't know what I was doing. My entire first pregnancy, I had nightmare after nightmare of like starving my baby to death, or like abandoning him accidentally at a bus stop, getting on the bus and leaving the car seat, and then my whole dreams like trying to find my baby. And I just felt so insecure about being a mother. I was terrified, and it was all I ever wanted to be in my life is a mom, so I was just so overwhelmed and scared. And I think without any guidance whatsoever, my safety was in controlling all the variables of, like I took it so seriously, what my children ate, what they watched on TV, who I was exposing them to. I was just so strict because I wanted to protect my children from the hard things that I went through as a child. And so, and with Mormonism, the mom is the sole caretaker and the nurturer, and the dad is the provider and the patriarch. And so when we got divorced, it felt absolutely impossible. I felt like it would be the wrong thing to let go of control. I was like, I have to control both households to protect my children. I'm the mom. I have the maternal instincts that knows what is best for my children. And oh my goodness, it's just like such a long road to clear all of that need to control. It's fucking brutal to let go, because there's nothing you love more in the world than your children, and you just want to protect them with everything you can. So to let them go to a household that sometimes I did not feel was the healthiest was really difficult for me, and I'm so grateful for where we're at now in allowing and trust. And our kids are older now too, so it's easier to trust that they'll be okay and whatever. But it was extremely difficult for me, and I think I made Jake's life hell because of it. And I'm so sorry for that. Just constantly nagging you and trying to make sure, whatever. It was very hard for me. And honestly, Tiff coming into the picture helped so much. As soon as Tiff was there, I felt more comfortable because I felt like a woman and structure, and you were more grounded. You were more stable with Tiff around.
All the time. She still does today.
And so I just am so grateful for you, Tiff, and for both of you and your patience with me and my psychotic need for control that I still have to actively practice letting go all the time,
I think what would be so great if we could all recognize early on, and would be so helpful, is the understanding that, because kids are so young, they can't understand this, and so it doesn't feel this way. But that, just like all of the other things that end up being pretty unhealthy and control based and whatever, always spawn from good intentions. It's not like you're trying to hurt anyone. Your intention is to help and make sure that things are okay. And if we all could have understood early on that, like, not just that that's impossible, but that it's actually okay, like, for things to not be okay. Like, at least it's my belief that a huge part of this existence is growth and learning, and whatever it is, like, without delving into spirituality too much, like whatever would be after this or parallel to this or connected to this, it is helpful to learn and grow in this life. And the way you learn and grow is through mistakes and through discomfort and through hard things, not through ease, comfort, and doing everything right. Like, you don't grow that way. And so I think if we all could have understood early on, like, it's just okay for, like, if I disagree and something's different, even if it ends up being a difficult situation, there's growth in it, and that's the purpose of what we're doing. And if we can embrace that, and instead of fighting it, look at it as something that is valuable, then it eases that need to control and eases the desire to make sure every little thing isn't going correctly.
Yes, and along those same lines, if there is something dangerous or inappropriate or unhealthy there, then that attitude and that, strategy opens up those lines of communication so that the child can come to you. And if the child comes to you and says, hey, mom or dad is doing this and it makes me feel uncomfortable, or this is causing me to feel scared or whatever, then it's also really important not to take that and lash out at the other parent and be like, hey, then take it as 100% truth, which I am also guilty of. Is like, it would immediately trigger me and I'd be like, da 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 da, And so to take that and to communicate to the other parent in a healthy way, hey, this parent or this child is communicating this. Do you have thoughts? How can I help? Instead of that accusing, contentious approach.
Yeah, I think within the last couple years especially, I think we did it here and there before that, but we're in a good routine now of just, if one of the kids needs to talk about something important, whether it's a punishment or trying to buy a new car, or, if it's important and all the parents should be involved, then we're all doing a pretty good job at saying all 4 parents need to be part of this discussion, put it in the group chat, and let's hear what everybody has to say about it. Mm-hmm. Well, when we forget about doing that, that is like the first trigger for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Like one parent just saying, all right, I'm going for it, I'm doing this parenting thing, and the other 3 are getting left in. And I, maybe you guys are like, I did that within the last 4 or 6 weeks, where I was just like, da 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 da, and I was reminded by you, Toby. Do you remember what the subject matter was?
I don't, but I do remember it
been...
happening.
Seems like it was a car driving situation.
It might. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So
But
the Volvo driving stick.
It might have been something about the Volvo.
oh yeah, you getting caught or popping that tire that one night with the Volvo, and I didn't quickly relay that information to everybody else. But anyway, so we still make mistakes, but it's my job to do the best I can to remember to take important stuff to all 4 parents, and it's everybody else's job to have grace with me, like you did last time. Like, I forgot, and you didn't rip my head off. You kindly brought it up and said, I wish that I would have been part of this. And I kindly said, I'm so sorry, you're right. I absolutely should have done that right away. And so, like, just on both sides, giving each other the benefit of the doubt, but it takes self-control and it takes practice, but just being as communicative as we can across the board.
I agree. The part I love most about that is that you said it's not just your job to be like, oh, yep, you're right, I did that, I acknowledge it, I accept that. It's all of our jobs to be like, it's okay. Like, we are in a place where we give the benefit of the doubt now, and we don't have to revert to, a harder time where we would want to jump on something like that because we're on edge and trying to control, and we feel certain ways about whatever. We really do feel, at least I feel this way, and I think we probably all do, that we're in a place where that was cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What's the joke?
No,
We're
please
just-
Just being a dick.
That was
It's
great.
the best. I really do feel like we're in a place where it's not just giving the benefit of the doubt, at least for me. I feel like everyone's trying their best to do their best all the time, you know? And so if somebody forgets something, it's none of our jobs to be like, ha, you know, like it's
Busted.
right. It's okay. Let's just do it now. You know?
Now spin the wheel.
Yeah.
I think it's
spin
over
the
by you.
wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
No.
Boop. Which finger?
No, it's where the thing's pointing.
Oh,
Arrow.
oh, I
Toby.
see. Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
There-
shit.
Barely.
I knew this
Why
was
are you
gonna.
both concerned that it's Toby?
Because her jokes are always so inappropriate.
Because she said she had one, but it wasn't funny.
Exactly.
Oh.
I have it, but it's not that funny.
It's okay. We're all gonna laugh
Okay.
really hardy.
Will you guys laugh really hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Just
sure.
kidding.
No.
Don't fake
No,
laugh.
it's
I
coming.
need genuine responses.
Okay.
Why do cannibals not eat clowns?
Oh boy.
Cholesterol.
Because they taste funny. Ah!
It's a fancy. That's a natural
Thank you,
reaction.
I thought that
Oh,
was good.
So we got chased by scary clowns recently in Vegas.
that's
Did
right.
we
Oh my
talk
gosh,
about
I'm
that?
like, no
Probably
way.
Haunted
did.
escape room. That was
I
fun.
think we did.
Yeah. Okay. Someone tell a better joke. You have one.
Oh, I did hear a good one. So the Dalai Lama goes into a pizza place, walks up the counter to order, and the guy says, "What can we get for you?" And he says, "Can you make me one with everything?"
Oh, that's pretty good.
Here to help.
Didn't you tell me that the Dalai Lama was told that joke and he laughed?
The video clip I saw of it was some Australian news anchor telling the Dalai Lama that joke, and he found it very funny, which made me find it very funny. And then the retelling of it, I don't think was as funny.
I think you did great. Both of you. Excellent.
Thank you. With our jokes combined, we make one really funny
Yes, that
joke,
was
maybe.
put them together.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Dalai
parenting
Lama's
is
a
hard.
clown.
That's right. And he walked into
And
a
he tastes
cannibal
really
meeting.
funny. Other households.
How fucked up
One
you
thing
guys'
we
household
dealt with
is.
for a little
Yeah.
while, we kept falling into a bit of a trap with our kids at a certain stage, where, and just only a couple of the kids, but we were hearing stories from their other house, not your house, their house, another house. And it was so hard not to like feel so bad for them and feel super concerned and whatever. And then our reaction was very negative toward their parents, because their other parents, because we were like appalled that this was going on and these things are happening in this house, you know, and our reactions ended up causing immense amount of pain and issues that we thought we were just being protective and giving empathy and compassion, but really we were like feeding a monster. And so that was a major learning experience for us, that no matter how bad the story is, go politely and kindly to the other parent, give the benefit of the doubt, instead of just like taking the story and being like, oh my God, you know, it's easy to do when you love your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there are people in situations, because my situation, and it's calmed down, I would say, for sure. But my
They're both
situation
adults
was
now.
very different. They're talking about me and my ex-wife.
Barely.
My situation was very different in that there was no willingness to work together. And not just that, but there were blatantly a lot of negative things said about me, like inappropriately to my children. And my thought process was always, I'm just not going to engage. Like, they'll get older. We'll figure this out. It's fine. Like, I just need to show up as me and do my best. And I have plenty of issues, and I fucked up plenty of times, and I caused plenty of trauma in my kids that weren't things that were being said about me. And that's what I wanted to focus on and own, and always tell them, like, hey, this is what I'm here if you want to talk about anything, you know? But it was like the first time ever where they had started talking negatively about parents in the other home, and we hadn't experienced that, and that triggered something in me after a few times of like, defensiveness, like protection, you know. But also, I think there was a part of it that was like I've been talked about so badly. It was like the defensiveness allowed for me to then start speaking badly when I never had up to that point, and it was a mistake. You know, it really did cause a lot of issues because then it was kind of turned around on me, and we've had to figure out a lot of things and are still figuring out some things, you know. But that hopefully can help somebody somewhere in a situation that maybe it's not, they're not workable with someone else. Don't do it.
Don't engage.
Don't
do
do it.
not engage.
Yeah.
There's been multiple times where I've been communicating with my ex-husband and Jake's just like, put your phone down.
Walk away.
Don't respond. And I'm just like,
But I've got the whole
This
text
here's
picked
the
up.
ledge. We need to step back from the ledge.
yes.
If you look over the ledge, it's a steep drop.
And I've been like, but I gotta get my point across. And he's like, give me the phone. Give me the phone. I get it. I understand. It is a real problem.
But it's, super easy to say when you're the third party, just like on
Absolutely.
the outside looking in.
Mhm.
I've been on the same goddamn ledge,
Mhm.
engaging,
Yeah.
and it's all a big old learning experience. Hopefully, we're getting better and better and better at it.
I'm so grateful that we have the foundation of a friendship here. Like I was telling AJ that just the other day that if this was only like you met and you dated and whatever, it would be harder for me. I like go back to you as a 16-year-old and your heart and who I have always known that you are before I was ever having babies with you, just friends for many years before we decided to be whatever we were. So I'm really grateful for that, and a lot of people don't have the luxury of the foundation of a true friendship. It's a real blessing.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for that foundation.
You're welcome. It all started with Jake singing "With or Without You."
What was
I
the?
heard that on the radio today.
Oh, really?
Wow, I haven't heard that song in a
Here's
long
the thing.
time. That's amazing.
What was?
Damn it, Jonah!
Oh Lord,
That was
we gotta
great.
start over now.
Twice.
What was the thing that Jake said when he met you and like closed the car door?
He said something about like we're not in Kansas anymore, Toby.
Toby.
And I was like, it's Toto.
Oh right, that's the story.
Yeah.
Always
I was like, wait, I thought you said your name was Toby. So it is, but wait. I don't know how that happened.
That's great.
I just opened her car door. I was like, remind me of your name. She said it's Toby. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toby. And then I closed her car door and I'm walking around. I'm like,
I
fuck,
don't
maybe
think
it's
that's
Toto.
right. What a great story.
Yeah.
She just played it off. Be like, I know, it was a joke.
Totally.
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 Well,
Totally.
how else can we change the world on this episode?
Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. 4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. Dave, hand me a beer.
What?
What?
If we're all deep in thought, how else can we change everybody's life? And it just goes, 4 parents, just goes through the end of the show. Let's totally do
That
it.
is
Let's
good.
do it.
And then this could be the outtake.
Yes,
I like
love
that.
it.
I love it. It's perfect.